Well, what is up, viewers? Welcome back to another video, and today we're back once again with the classic F1 games series. We're sort of nearing the end of this now that we're getting through pretty much all of the classic F1 games that I own on my PC. But today we're returning to probably one of the most unpopular ones. We're going to be playing F1 2015 today. In the 2015 cars, obviously this game had an option to drive the 2014 or the 2015 cars. So we're going to be driving the 2015 cars. Going to be playing as Pastor Maldonado, the GOAT, in the Lotus E24, I believe it is. And we're going to be doing a 25% race around Monza. But hopefully you will enjoy this video. Should be a good bit of fun. Once again, as always, going to be playing on the Xbox One controller because I can't be setting up my wheel for this. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into one of the most unpopular F1 games, I think, that has ever been made. But it did give us the F1 YouTube Championship, so there's bonus points to be had there. Get there, it's gonna be up. Yes! Woohoo! There we are, yes. Oh, I'm having another accident, I'm over. That is why, that's huge. Okay, well, so I thought for this video today we would actually do some one-shot qualifying rather than just jumping straight into a race. I would like to put on zero wing setup, but I don't know how. There's not really an option to, so I guess it's not an option. So let's just go to track in our Lotus. There we are, right there. But down the main straight we go. Starting the lap, we're in P9. We got Massa leading straight away, as I don't have the DRS open. Now the DRS is open. Down towards turn 1, or we were quite late on the brakes compared to Massa. Through the first chicane, we're in P7. That was a pretty solid run, but the Mercedes of Hamilton is now going to start getting away. We're in P10. As through Curva Grande we go for the first time, up to 8th gear, 320 kilometers an hour. These are one of the fastest games I think that Codemasters ever made in terms of lap time, because the cars were so bloody quick. But round we go into Lesmo 1. Something is messing up with my controls. I think the wheel is now trying to take over from my controller. That's going to cost us a bit of time. Oh, I've clipped the gravel, and that was a bit of an oversteer moment. Not great, but we're in P12, so we're not doing horrendously as we head under the Allianz banner down towards the Ascari chicane, getting it turned in. I was deep on the brakes, and I'm all over the place. Something is trying to steer this car for me. It must be my wheel. But down towards the Parabolica, 320 kilometers an hour again. Hamilton's still in the lead. Braking at the 50 board. A little bit of understeer. Well, quite a lot of understeer. A lock-up to go with it. We're in P11. It's not actually going to be a horrific lap in terms of where we finish. And it's going to be P11, I think. I think P11. We're going to see in just a moment. Oh, cutscene. I didn't know we had this. This is an interesting feature. I didn't know we got a cutscene like this. Obviously not very happy with our bald engineer. And we are P11. P11. One place behind our teammate Romain Grosjean. And we are 2.1 seconds off of pole. Good lord. But we're not last. We're not last. So I'm going to take that. Okay, so here we are on the grid. I have turned off my wheel, so that shouldn't be an issue anymore. Going to jump over to the race strategy. Since we're going to pit on lap 6, that is fine. But, I don't know how to edit the setup, so we're just going to ignore that. Starting in P11, I am holding the clutch in. It's lights out and away we go. It's a fairly even start for most of the field. Grosjean's got a good start on Ricardo. As we head down to turn 1, I got Kvyat behind us in the Red Bull. We're going to go to the inside. Up the inside, yeah, a quadruple lock up there on all the wheels. But through the chicane, not a bad start, you know, we're up 2 positions. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of wheel spin on the exit. No, Hulkenberg's going to get back past in the Force India. We're going to switch to the left-hand side. Is he going to cover that off? Just about. We're going to go up the inside. Yeah, there you go. That's a nice move. And we're going to squeeze him out. And there we go, up into P9. So we're 2 positions up on the first lap as we head down towards the first Lesmo. We've got Perez and our teammate in front, Romain Grosjean, in the other Lotus. As all through the second Lesmo, we got a bit wide there. Alright, but down the back straight for the first time. Obviously no DRS on this first lap, and we won't get DRS until lap 3 due to the old regulations. Down into the Ascari chicane for the first time. A little bit of a corner cut, but we shall ignore that. Just look past all the corner cutting. But down the next straight, so we've got Perez in front. We've got to try and catch up with Perez. Hopefully Grosjean can hold him up a bit, but they're battling in front. Or I'm going to lock up a bit. Go slightly wide. But we are making time up on these guys in front. And I guess the goal for this race, which is actually quite handy, these old games had like a position goal to finish in. I think F1 2014 to F1 2016 had those. So the goal for us that has been set is 8th place, which is right in front of us. So I guess that's where we got to try and finish. Second gear out of the first chicane. And not too bad. Whoa. Something took over for me there. But Perez gets back past on Grosjean, so I'm going to have to try and get closer. Do I make a move on my teammate, or I'm just a little bit too far back into the second chicane? So we're just going to follow Grosjean for now. And yeah, I guess the goal is to finish in 8th place. Through we go. I guess it would be good time to save some fuel while we're following these guys. Through the second Lesmo. Oh no, I've clipped the grass. Clipped the grass there, that's not ideal. But dropping down the back straight, or we're dropping a lot of time with this lean mixture. So I'm going to put it back up into standard. Into the Ascari chicane now. Bouncing over the curbs. Not too bad there. I'm just going to get rid of my taskbar. Nothing doing. But yeah, we seem to be losing a lot of time on the guys down the main, or so down straight. Something is wreaking absolute havoc with the control. Something is trying to take over. My wheel is off, everything is off. So I don't know what that would be, but it's okay. We're going to persevere. Down the main straight we go. Rosberg in the Mercedes sets the fastest lap. Obviously this was a year where it was probably like the peak of the Rosberg rivalry, I would say. This is when it sort of got the most heated, as through the first chicane, not too bad, and Grosjean's going to get away from us again. But we're on to lap 3 now. DRS has been activated. Something is taking over again and is steering me into the wall. What is going on? I don't know what's doing it. Down into the second chicane. Oh, I've missed the chicane a bit. That's our first warning for corner cutting. But something is trying to take over into the first Lesmo. Round we go. Oh, try not to do that. We don't want to be hitting that grass. Or that gravel for that matter. And more oversteer. We've got the DRS though, that is crucial. I am going to throw it up into rich mix. See if we can get any closer to Grosjean in this 25%er. And we just got to try and finish in 8th place. That was a nice line. Very happy with that. Cutting over the curbs. But this rich mix is seeming to helping out, well, is helping out quite a lot. As up to 340 kilometers an hour, 350 kilometers an hour. Down into Parabolica. Oh, and made a little bit of contact with Grosjean. Look at how slow he is to the corner. We're going to get the exit on our teammate. Oh no, he's going to tuck back in front of us. Get that DRS open. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to get a nice one on Perez. There goes Grosjean on Perez. We're going to go on Grosjean down into turn 1. Lock up. But we are going to pull it up. And there you go. That was a pretty nice move. I don't know what the engineer is saying at me. I do not give a shit. But we're back, and it is 2 cars in 1 corner there. That was pretty nice. Whoa, what is going on here? My game is like breaking. My game is breaking. Oh god. It's trying to open up something. Okay, but we're going to continue on. We're going to pretend like that never happened. I've just closed down a few applications. But through Lesmo 1, that was a little bit oversteery. Not ideal. And we do... It looks like we have a bit of extra fuel. Tyres are starting to get a bit warm, but the tyres are quite cold as well. But we're in P7, lap 4 of 13. I've got Grosjean coming back out of here with DRS. We're going to cover that off into the Ascari chicane. Rosberg has just taken the lead, apparently, according to the engineer. So good for him. But up next, if we can get close, is Massa in the Williams. And I think it's the 2 Mercedes out front having a battle. These guys are having a battle. A fearsome one in front of us. A bit of a ding-dong. Okay, well apparently we're going to be feeling a bit lighter because of the fuel. Good info there. Oh shit, who's the engineer for this one? Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. So good info from Jeff. There's down the main straight. We've got Perez getting past Grosjean, but he's not going to get close to us. I'm going to massively lock up into the first chicane. Still in P7. Oh, and it's very slippery on floor, I've noticed. Very, very slippery coming out of the chicanes. On lap 5, I think we're going to be pitting on the next lap. Something is still trying to steer for me. Don't know what it is. Down into the second chicane, braking at the 100 board, cutting across the curves. One thing you notice with this game, if you haven't noticed already, is that the curves are like non-existent in terms of like their height. Oh no, I clipped the gravel, that's not good. That's not good. I got Perez up the inside. I'm defending it hard, there's no contact there, so that's some good racing. Okay, right, we've got some tyre wear. No, Perez is coming through. Perez has got me. No. Oh, we can't have that. We cannot have the Force India getting through. Oh, I've made contact with him. He was quite slow through that chicane. But we're going to be in the slipstream. But, yeah, like one thing I noticed, I was just saying, is how the curbs have, like, no height to them. So you could just, you know, fly over the curbs and have it not be an issue. Oh, getting it turned in. There we go. We should get DRS here on the Force India. As down the main straight, I'm in the slipstream. Where's that DRS? There it is. And now we're going to pit, going to be inside. And we're going to pit on this lap. This is our pit lap. Braking up the inside. Oh no, I double locked up in the chicane. I've done a Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. But that didn't result in a championship deciding crash. But we're all good. Okay, so it seems as though every time I press a button, that's when it tries to take over the steering. Down into the second chicane, we're going to cover off Perez. There we go, nicely done. That was a great line. And we're going to get actually a little bit further away from Checo. No, a lot of understeer to the first Lesmo. That seems to be where the car just does not handle as well as the other places. But Checo should get DRS here as we head down the back straight under the old circuit there. Is he going to get close? He's not going to get close. And yeah, we are going to pit in at the end of this lap. Don't worry, Jeff, I'm not going to forget. What I need to not do is not get a speeding penalty, so I'm going to be very cautious coming in. As down towards Parabolica, Perez is getting close. Grosjean's going for a move on Perez. This is expert teamwork. I've locked up. I'm off the circuit. It's not good. It's not good. They're both going to get through. Oh no, I've made contact with Grosjean. That's not ideal. That was very close. And then, here we go, into the pits. Getting lots of crucial information from Jeff. But where is our pit box? There goes the Ferrari, there goes the Williams. I think this is us here. Quite close to the end of the pit lane. On go the prime tyres. We were just on the options then, but on the primes now. Down into P12. We've actually got a car out of this race. Don't know who that is. But it would be an engine failure for whoever that was. Got Ricardo behind us. But we're out now on cold tyres. Down towards the first chicane. We got no pressure from behind. Down into the Rettifilio. I believe that's what it's called. I'm not very good with my Monza corner names, I'll be honest with you. But away we go. So, in P12, we've dropped 5 places with that pit stop, but we will climb that back. Well, we will get that back as other people pit through the second chicane. That was a really nice line. But towards the first Lesmo we go. Hopefully these tyres will get warm. Yeah, there we go. Much warmer now. So that's exactly what we need. And we're still meeting our targets on fuel. So that is all good. We've got Massa in front. I know Perez and Grosjean did not pit on that lap, so we should come out right next to them when they come out of the pits. As towards Ascari, and this is handling a lot better now that we're on fresh tyres. That was a corner cutting warning, and I think we're getting close to a corner cutting penalty. I'm going to have to be careful with that. Got Ricardo behind us in the Infinity Red Bull. He isn't a problem at all. Rosberg has taken first place, but through Parabolica. Oh, I've gone over the white line, but we're okay. As down the main straight, we've got cars in the pits. Grosjean in the pits. We're going to jump him. Yeah, going to jump him big time. There goes Perez. There goes Grosjean. And we're back up into 7th place, and they're all fighting in front. As, into the first chicane. That was an okay line, wasn't my best. But there's Perez and Grosjean behind us. We're back up into 7th place. And yeah, we've gained massive amounts of time on those guys in the pit stop phase. So now we're going to see if we can catch up with Massa. That is the next goal. Oh, that's a track limits warning. Going to have to be very careful there. Haven't gotten a penalty yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get one soon. If I keep driving the way I'm driving. Down into the second Lesmo. Lovely run through there. As onto the back straight. Obviously we don't get DRS on the Williams or anything, but we're on lap 8 now. Lap 8 of 13, so really isn't that much longer to go. Down into Ascari. There we go. Okay, so we've got 50% of our fuel remaining. Good, good, good. I'm liking the info that Jeff is giving us on this game. That is one benefit in a game which was quite lackluster, in all honesty. You know, this was like supposed to be the big game because it was going from PS3 and Xbox 360 to Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and it really did flop quite badly. Didn't have a career mode or anything. The AI weren't great, and yeah, so it was the game that flopped quite badly. The only good thing to come out of this game, and this is from all my OG viewers, was the F1 YouTube Championship. Oh shit! Just steered me right into the wall there. What the fuck? Oh my god, this is really starting to get on my nerves. But yeah, they had the F1 YouTube Championship with X-Matty G, Tim McMardick, Arav, and Noble 2909, which is one of the best series on YouTube. Okay, so you're saying that we can go up into Rich Mix if we need. I probably won't need to. Might be okay. We might chuck it up maybe at the end of this lap for a little bit. Oh, you know what? Let's do it now. Yeah, let's throw it up into Rich for a bit. But they got the cars battling in front of us, so hopefully we can catch up with those guys. I would have lost time with that driving into the wall, so not ideal. Yeah, we lost about 0.5 of a second. But through Ascari, that was about as good as I could have taken it. We can see Massa up there, and we absolutely dropping Perez and Grosjean. Actually been a fairly dull race, as locked up through Parabolica. Not ideal, but I think we're catching up with Massa here, so we might leave it in Rich Mix for a while, and we'll get closer. Yeah, we gained 0.7 of a second through there, so that's good. This is working, using the Rich Mix, so we're going to stay with the Rich Mix, see if we can catch up with the Williams of Felipe Massa. that was the worst thing I've ever said. But through Curva Grande we go, lap 10 of 13, so 4 laps to go now, up to 300 kilometers an hour. They're really battling in front if you look at the mini-map on the left-hand side. Down into the second chicane. That was absolutely nailed to perfection. And we're getting closer, slowly but surely getting closer, through Lesmo 1. Big oversteer moment there, not ideal. Probably not the best line for the first Lesmo. That was absolutely pitch perfect on the second Lesmo though. And that is going to gain us a little bit of time as we head under the Allianz banner again. They're still fighting in front into Ascari. Gap is now 1.9 seconds. It was 2.9 seconds at this point 1 lap ago. So we've gained a second. I'm not going to get DRS on this lap, but hopefully we can get it on the next lap. Down into Parabolica. I can't keep missing this. I really need to get this perfect if I want to gain the time, and that was better. Much better through there in our Lotus. Maldonado is catching Massa, the Venezuelan terrorist, who had so many crashes in his Formula 1 career, but that's why we love him. That's why we love Pasta. Down into turn 1. Can I get close? Oh, over the chicane, over the curves, and look at how close we're getting now. We're really making inroads on Massa. I think P6 might be on here, as long as 1, we don't hit him, and 2, we don't get a penalty for cutting the corners. I've been steered into the wall again. I'm going to crash out and throw my monitor through a window in a second, if that happens again. Through the first chicane, or through the second chicane, sorry. Not getting any sort of warnings into Lesmo 1. On the power early. That was absolutely ace. And I think we're going to get the DRS here. down the back straight. Is it going to be DRS? No, no DRS. So we're probably like right on the cusp, and we're getting quite close to our fuel targets. Braking at the 100 board. Oh no, got a corner cutting warning there. Somehow I don't have a penalty though. He's going to warn me to stop cutting the corners. But we're so close to Felipe Massa. We're going to have 2 laps to go when we cross the line. It's coming down to the wire for 6th place. Am I going to get it turned in? Oh, yes, I am. Look at that. So fuel is now optimal. We're going to drop it back down to standard now that we have the DRS. Can I get close down the main straight? Am I going to get DRS yet? There it is. There it is. We're going to go up to 350 kilometers an hour. Am I going to get close to the Williams? That was the fastest in a straight line, but we're down the inside. It's a good move, and I'm going to leave him the space. I left him the space. This is so close. This is so close. I'm on the grass, and there we go. I'm through on Felipe Massa. Is he going to challenge me back through Curva Grande? I don't know, but I'm going to have to defend it. As, no, he's already gone to the left. He's coming back up the inside. This is so close. This is such a good battle, and he's going to get back past. I tried switching him, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to start back up into rich setting. Hopefully I can get the DRS down the back straight, and we can get back past the Williams. But this is an epic battle so far. Excuse my squeaker voice, but this is what happens when I have a good battle. Going to get the DRS open again, down into standard mix. Am I going to get close enough towards the Ascari chicane? I'm not going to get close enough. I'm going to have to tuck in to the toe again. Through the chicane we go. All contact was made. He's had a pretty poor run. We're going to go to the right hand side, but actually no, I'm not going to go for this because I want the DRS down the main straight. I want the DRS down the main straight, so we're going to tuck in. Get the detection point there. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Save a bit of fuel, and then on the exit, this is where we should be able to make the cleanest of clean moves on Massa. Hopefully down into turn 1, we're right here. Get the DRS open. We're flying past the Williams, the Brazilian, and we're up the inside into turn 1. So there you go. Oh, clean as you like. No, I locked up. I locked up. No, cover him off. There we go. So, okay, there we go. Oh my god, I'm on the grass as well. No, Massa tried it around the outside. Fuel is optimal. I'm going to have to save some. But we're going to go to the left-hand side, hopefully defend the move, or whatever move that he throws. Down into the second chicane. He's having a look. He's not going to get close, though. And we're going to stay in front of Mr. Felipe, throwing it back into standard revs through the first Lesmo. He's not going to get close. Well, he is going to get close, but he's not going to get close enough for a move, I don't think. He's going to have the DRS down the back straight. This is the final lap. Might I remind you, this is the final lap. Where's he going to go? He's going to the inside. No, he's going to get back past. I can't do anything to defend. He had the DRS. He had everything. So I'm going to have to try it into Parabolica, up into Rich Mix, slipstream and everything. Can I get close to Massa? I don't think it's going to happen. I might have to try a last-ditch move coming out of Parabolica onto the main straight if I want this position. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Am I going to get the exit? I don't think I am. Massa's going to get P6 unless I can get a run up to the line. No. Oh, I nearly got him. Man, that was so close. That was so close. Oh my god, there we are. But P7 in the end for Pastor Maldonado. Not a bad race, but that was so much fun. That was absolutely awesome. Well, there we have it, everybody. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. That was a very tense and climactic finish. I'm quite out of breath now. But that was probably one of the most fun episodes, I think, of Classic F1 game series we've had. That was an absolute blast. And to be honest, I didn't expect that from F1 2015. Obviously, it's still not the best game they've ever made. It was a good bit of fun though, but you know, it was quite bad in a lot of areas, this game. But yeah, if you want to go and check it out, there's a Discord server which I'm a part of, which, you know, I pick up all these games from. But you can get the game off of onefishia.com. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed. That is going to be it for another video. And stay safe, make awesome choices, have an awesome day. And I'm going to see you all in the next classic game video, which I think might be F1 2019, but I'm going to have to double check that one. So, see you later, everybody.